Hello students, I am Aniket Kirsch. Welcome to the series of Class 9 Computer Application. We are in Unit 4 Scratch or Python and this is part 2 of that. In part 1, we have already discussed what is Scratch programming. And in this part, that is part 2, we will see what is Python programming. So let's see. First of all, what is programming? What is program? Program, as we have seen in this Scratch also, the general programming word is used for what? If anything is automatic, we can perform the task just by clicking up saying button. That is what? That is a program. Set of instructions is automatically implemented. For example, in lift system, when you click just a button, you can go from one floor to another floor, right? In traffic signals, that is automatic. Some program is there. So on the basis of it, the lights changes from green to yellow, yellow to right, like that. Okay. So these are all what? Microwave in washing machines, automatically they switch off after some particular temperature or after some particular time. So what are all this? These all are programs, right? And the writing this program is what? Programming. The process of writing this program is programming. And the person who writes this program is a programmer, right? So let's see what all things we will cover in this Python programming. Unit 4, Scratch of Python. This is part 2, right? Alternative to, why we, I have written here alternative to, alternative 1 and 2. We have to choose between these two, right? Either we have to attempt question from the Scratch programming or from the Python programming. So that's why. So what all things we will cover in this? Algorithm and flowcharts, right? First of all, we will cover algorithm and flowcharts, then characters of a good program, right? What all things matters when we write any program, right? How it will be called, it is as a good program, right? Then what is introduction, the simple program in this, like that of the Hello World program, and then how to execute the Python program. All these things we will cover. And after this lecture, you will come to know about algorithm and flowcharts, how the flowcharts are, how to prepare full flowchart for any program. Suppose, I want to tell you something here. Practically, what exactly is algorithm and flowchart? When you are going to, prepare or suppose you got a project from anybody and you are preparing any software for them. So before writing the codes for that software, before that, you will, in your mind, you will prepare something, how you will create a program, right? Mind map, how you will create the program. So for that, if you, whatever is going in your mind, you will put it on the paper, right? In the form of algorithms and flowchart. And on the basis of that, you will write a coding for that program, right? So basics of Python programming we'll see. There are a number of programs, right? There are defenses, logics are same. We have to apply some logics, है ना? But the way the programs are written, or the variables used, or there are some differences in writing the coding. And programs in Python, different. So we will see some programs, how programs are written in Python, and then how the programs are executed, right? So first of all, what is program? Program refers to a set of instructions given to a computer to do something, right? As I told you, everything in lift system, in washing machine, in microwave, everywhere, where we just click on a button and some particular tasks, some codings are performed, executed, and on the basis of that, some particular task is performed. That is what? This is a program, right? Maybe it is on the, it is automatic. After some time, particular time, it will automatically run that particular set of codes, or on clicking a particular button, it will execute, right? So set of instructions, set of commands, set of codes, right? That is a program. Example, to add two numbers, we will give first number, then we will give second number, then it will add these two numbers and give us the output, like that of calculator. It is also a program, right? And what is programming? Programming refers to the act of writing program. The act of writing. We are writing a program, so that process is known as the programming. And who is writing the program? Programmer, right? Now let's see what is algorithm. Algorithm. An algorithm is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem solving operations to get the desired output, right? Is a process or a set of rules to be followed in calculations. Means suppose I am writing a program for calculator, right? So before writing a program, I will first write the algorithm for that. Algorithm means in some set of rules what should be followed, set of steps that I will write, and that on the basis of that sets I will write a program, right? Sets means instructions, how instructions should be, in what pattern, in what flow it should go. All these things, step by step process I will write. Okay, that is the algorithm. So an algorithm is a process or a set of rules to be followed in calculation or other solving problems operations to get the desired output. And or we can say an algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions in sequence. Okay, we will decide the sequence how it should be implemented to solve a particular calculation or problem, right? So that is the algorithm. Now let's see how it looks, how algorithm looks. Suppose we will write an algorithm for the addition of two numbers, right? An algorithm to add two numbers entered by the user. So how it will look? See here. Uh, Step one, the program will start, right? So first step is the start. Then second step, declare variable number one, number two, and the sum. What is this variables are? Variables means what? What do you mean by the term variable? Uh, in calculator, suppose take an example of the calculator or any software. It will ask you the two numbers, right? This is the addition software. It will ask, you are the user, it will ask two numbers from you. It will take two numbers from you as an input. You will enter the first number, then it will ask for the second number, you will enter the second number, then it will add these two numbers and show you the result. So when it is taking first number from you, it will it will store it somewhere in a memory. Then it will ask you the second number, then it will again store that second number in somewhere in the memory. Then these two numbers will be added by the system or the software, and the calculated, the sum, addition of these two numbers will be stored somewhere else in the memory, and then it will be displayed to you. Getting? So how many variables are required? First variable to store the first number, second variable to store the second number, and the third variable to store the answer, to store the addition of these two numbers, right? So here, see, declare variables num1, number2, and sum. Three variables are there. Num1 variable is when user will give enter the first number, that num1 will store the first value. Suppose you entered 36, you will give 36 as the first number. It will be stored in the memory in the location one num1 kind of variable will be created, and inside that this 36 will be stored. Then again you will give 40 as the second number. When it will ask for the second number, you will give 40. Then it will be stored inside num2. This is another location in the memory. Num1, num2, two locations where 36 and 40 two numbers are stored. Then the third number sum, it will be calculated. The sum is calculated using the addition operator, plus operator. Num1, the values in the num1 and num2 will be added and stored in the sum variable. 36 plus 40, 76. That will be stored in sum variable. Three variables are required, right? For addition of two numbers. For addition of three numbers, three variables for the addition, for storing these three numbers, and one variable for the storing the answer, the output. Okay, understood? So the algorithm looks like this. Start, declare variable num1, number, three variables you have to declare, and after that, this reading the values, whatever the user will input, first number, then second number, this will be what, this all numbers will be stored in the different locations in the variable, and then addition num1, num2, and assign the result to sum. Assign the result, as you can see in the third one, this sum equal to sum, this arrow marks num1, num2. So the addition of num1 and num2 will be stored inside the sum variable. Okay, variable means how we will define variable. Variables are the locations in the memory where we can store some values. Variable can be of integer type, it can be of a string type, it can be of different float type, where on the basis of the value it can store, variables are defined, right? So here variables are defined, they will store the first and second number, then they will add these number and store it in some variable, then this just displays sum. This line will display what? The output. Then the program will stop. Okay, after at the end this program will stop. So in start and stop, that is common. Then in program we have to first declare the value, then enter the value, and then calculation is required, and then output is displayed. These are the 4 to 5 steps. So this is the way how we write an algorithm before we write any programs, right? We create before we create any software. So such algorithms are written. Same. Let's see another algorithm. For example, an algorithm to find the largest among three different numbers. So suppose I am writing the program for this. The user will enter three numbers and it will calculate. It will solve the problem and find out the largest number out of these three numbers, right? So step one, start of the program. Second, declare variables. Three variables we will declare: A, B, C. Then read variables. We will read the who will read the system will read, the program will read the variables. Whatever values you will enter from the user side, all this will be stored. First number will be stored inside A, second will be inside B, and third value will be inside C. Now it will compare the values. If A is greater than B, A is greater than B, A means what? The value inside A, there is some value, whatever user has input given as an input. So if A is greater than B, and if A is greater than C also, what is this if? If is a conditional statement. In a programming, we use if statement, if else statement. These are conditional statement. When we write a program which is based on the conditions, we use such kind of conditional statements. So if A is greater than B, and inside that we will write if A is greater than C also, display A is the largest number, right? If A is greater than B and A is greater than C also, then obviously A is the greatest number, largest number, right? Else, inside that, else display C is the largest number. If A is greater than B, inside that we will write if A is greater than C, display A is the largest number, else display C is the largest number, right? And now outer side, again we will write else if B is greater than C, displays B is the largest number, else display C is the largest number, right? You can understand how we will compare. We will compare A with B also and C also. And if it's more than this two, A is the greatest. And if it's not, A is greater than B but not greater than C, then C is the greatest one, right? Else, if in case B is greater than C, B is the largest one. Okay. Otherwise, if not, else C is the greatest number, like this. Okay. Now, qualities of a good algorithm. Algorithm is how we have seen what is algorithm, how algorithm looks, how it is written. Now, what are the qualities of a good algorithm? Input and output should be defined precisely, right? Input, what all should be given as an input, and what should be the output, what should be done, all this should be clearly defined in the algorithm. Then only, right? Suppose in any software company I am writing a program and you are also engineer there. Suppose I have written an algorithm and I will give it to you, and on the basis of that algorithm you have to design the software. So it should be understandable to you also. So algorithm should be in such a way so that any other programmer can also read, right? Input and output should be defined precisely. Not only programmer, user or any other person should also, it should be written in such a language so that anybody can easily understand, right? Input and output should be defined precisely. Each step in the algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. Each and every step in the algorithm should be clear. If this will happen, then it will divert it to this situation. Otherwise, this situation, everything should be clear. There must be no any kind of confusion, right? Otherwise, it will not if that algorithm is not proper, there's a confusion in any step, then program will not be created in a it will not run in a smooth way, right? Algorithm should be most effective among many different ways to solve a program, right? Should be most effective among many different ways. Algorithm, for the same program we can write the different algorithms, right? Different algorithms, but we have to write the algorithm in such a way that must be the best one, right? should be the most effective one. Uh, Comparing the same value, we can, comparing or if we will write a algorithm for finding out the greatest number out of the three numbers. So we can write the same algorithm in a different way. We can write the programs also in a different way. But we want to write the program which will what? Which will be most effective, most efficient, right? Less memory, no more memory should be consumed, more time, no more time should be consumed. So in such a way, we will design a program. So algorithms should also be like that only, right? Because we are going to design a program on the basis of the algorithm only. So algorithms should be written in such a way so that it is the most effective one. This is taking less time, which will take less memory, like that. An algorithm shouldn't include computer code. Obviously, we are not writing the code right now. We are writing the algorithm, and on the basis of that, we will write the code, right? So instead, the algorithm should be written in such a way that it can be used in different programming languages. So suppose algorithm is that if I will directly write the code, what is the sense of that? If I have written an algorithm, that algorithm can be given to the Python programmer to design the program on the basis of this algorithm. So he will write the program on Python. And suppose C++ programmer or any Java programmer, we will give them the same algorithm. He will write that program on the basis of this algorithm on Java. So on the same algorithm, program can be written in different softwares, different programming languages, right? On the basis of same algorithm, we can write the programs on different languages. So languages are different. So we will obviously we will write different codes, but on the same algorithm means what? The program will be same. The pattern will be same, right? If we are writing addition of two number program, then in Java also we will write the same thing, and here in Python also we will write the same thing. The way of writing the code is different, but the execution and output should be the same. How numbers are given as an input, how the output will be displayed, that all things will be same. Understood? Now, flow chart. We have seen what is algorithm. Now let's talk about flow chart. What is flow chart? A flow chart, from the term itself, flow chart, how the execution is going, right? A flow chart is simply a graphical representation of steps. In algorithm, we have written steps, right? And that should be shown through the graphical representation, that is known as a flow chart. It shows steps in sequential order and is widely used in presenting the flow of algorithms, workflow or process, how the program will flow, how the steps will be executed one after another. In case of it will be more easy to see the things in graphical form, right? In pictorial form. So the flowchart is that. In this, we can clearly see how these steps are executing, what all things will be implemented one and after another, right, in a program. When I will show you the diagram, you will understand. Are you right? Typically, a flowchart shows the steps as boxes of various kinds, and they are ordered by connecting them with arrows. Flowchart shows the steps with boxes and arrows and different kind of boxes and all. So let's see what kind of boxes and arrows are used. So this kind of box, the first box in the symbol, you can see the first symbol which is used in the flowchart is used for start and end, right? Means the starting and ending it will use. An oval represents a start or end point. Okay. So oval will be used for start or end. Arrow to switch from one, step to another step. A line is a connector that shows the relationship between the representative shapes, right? From one step to another. Now, next is parallelogram. It is for the input and the output, right? Next is process. If in some step we are showing that some process will be implemented here, then we will represent it using the rectangle. Then diamond shape is used to represent a decision. If in a program somewhere decision kind of thing should be implemented, then that step will be shown with the help of this diamond. Let's see. Flow chart to add two numbers. This is the flow chart to add two numbers. So see, start and end are represented through the oval shapes, right? And in the mid, parallelogram, input two numbers, right? Input number one, number two, that will be stored inside two variables. Input is given by the user, right? So that is represented using the parallelogram. Then rectangle. Here process is going on. Sum equal to num plus number one plus number two. These two numbers will be added and stored. The value of the output or the answer will be stored inside the sum variable, right? So this is the process step. And then again parallelogram, right? Parallelogram. Input or output is going, right? So print sum means this is the output. This is the output. You are printing the output. That is the sum. Whatever is there in the sum variable, that is the output. So this will be represented using the parallelogram and then AND. Understood? This so easy. It's right. So that this is the standard pattern. This is symbols are standard, which is used in a flow chart. Okay. Now next, flow chart for finding greatest of the three integers, right? Just now we had seen what? Addition of the two numbers, flow chart for that. Now we have to find the greatest of the three numbers, three integers. So how will I write the flow chart for that? Start and end, start or stop, you can say. So this will be represented using the oval shape. Then after start, it will read three values, A, B, C. Three values has been given by the as an input by the user. Now, if A is greater than B, it will go, okay, it will be checked, right? Checked means what? It is your checking means what? This is a diamond. So here decision making kind of thing is going on. So diamond is representing that, right? Diamond box. So if is A is greater than B, if condition is yes, then it will go to that dialog, this diamond box. Is A is greater than C? If that is also correct, means A is greater than B and A is also greater than C, then yes, print A is the largest number, right? Here you can see A is the largest number. And if in case A is greater than B is incorrect, means B is greater than C and B is greater than C is greater than this B, then it is known as the print B is the largest number, right? Is greater than, is A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then which is the greater one? Print C is the largest number, right? Yes, in case of A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then which one is the greatest value, right? So in yes or no conditions, when you will write on a paper, if A is greater than B and A is greater than C also, then what happens? A is the greatest value. And if A is greater than B is incorrect and B is greater than C, means B is the largest value. Okay. And in case A is greater than B is incorrect and B is greater than C is also incorrect, then C is the largest value, right? So this is the way after. So this is has been represented. This is the output, right? Print, print, print. This is the output. So input and output are represented using the parallelogram. So here this is the in parallelogram. Decision, wherever decisions are made, is represented using the diamond box. So here we have the diamond box in this case, and the start and end is at in oval, right? So you can see how flowcharts are created. It's very simple, right? Now let's see what are the characteristics of a good program. Portability, readability, efficiency, structural, flexibility, generality, documentation. All these are the characteristics of a good program. So what are all this? Let's see. Portability. What is portability? Portability refers to the ability of the application to run on different platforms with or without minimal changes. Means I have written any program, and if that program is executable, can be implemented on other softwares, other platforms also. Other platforms means in other operating systems also. Without, suppose I have written any program, and that will be executable in Windows operating system also, and in Mac operating system also, and in Linux operating system also. So it is executable on different platforms. So that is portability. We can, otherwise, if it is not executable, suppose I have written any program for my customer, and he is what? He is executing it on some other operating system, and if my software, whatever program I have written, if it is not executable on that platform, then what he will say? Your program is not running on my system. So what I have to do? I have to write again one program which should be executable on his system. So it will be problem for me, right? Again and again, I don't want to write the program again and again. I want to write a program which is executable on every platform. That is portability, right? Readability. The program should be written in such a way that it makes other programmers or users to follow the logic of the program without much effort, right? So the program should be written in such a way that it makes other programmers. Suppose I have written any programmer. Suppose any one very big software we are creating. So different programmers are required for that, right? One single programmer cannot write, you know, cannot create a big software like that of IRCTC software, right? Of railways. So different programmers are there. So suppose I am writing something. I have written some codes, and the other part of that code should be written by the other programmer. So he should be that particular part which I have written should be understandable to the other programmers also, right? So readability is also required. The program should be written in such a way that it makes other programmers or users to follow the logic of the program without much effort, right? And these programs are also should be written in such a way so that when any user is working on it, the interface should be such a way so that he will it should be understandable to the user also. He should feel comfortable with that interface, with that program, right? Now efficiency. What is efficiency? While writing any program, how much memory we are our program is consuming, how much time it is consuming to execute, that is very important. If it is taking too much time for the execution, means our program is not that much efficient. If it is it is taking too much memory to store that program, then it is not that much what it is not that much, you can say, efficient. So to make it the efficient program, we should write the program, or we should write in such a way so that it will take less memory and less execution time. So as the processing power and memory are the most precious resources of a computer, a program should be laid out in such a manner that it utilizes the least amount of memory and processing time. Now, structural, right? What is a structural? While writing a program, while writing a program, while writing a program, that program is what break into different blocks, right? For example, you can see to develop a program, the task must be broken down into a number of subtasks. If a program is developed structurally, it becomes more readable, right? The program should be written in different blocks, different parts, so that it will be more readable, right? And the testing and documentation process also gets easier. Okay. And flexibility, a program should be flexible enough to handle most of the changes without having to rewrite the entire program, right? Changes, if any in any program, if the changes required are more flexible, it is more, right, it is more easy for us to make any kind of changes if it is flexible, right? So programs should be flexible so that we can easily make the changes. We are not supposed to rewrite the programs again and again, make more changes, right? So it should be flexible. Generality. Generality means that if a program is developed for a particular task, then it should also be used for some other similar tasks of the same domain. Obviously, if I have written any program, so what happens if you have designed any program for some particular task, then the same kind of task should be implemented, right? Can be this program should be able to perform the similar type of programs, right? Otherwise, what happens? You have to rewrite the program, you have to make the changes again and again, right? So generality means that if a program is developed for a particular task, then it should also be used for same kind of task of the same domain, we can consider, right? Now documentation. What is documentation? If even if a program is developed following the best programming practices, it will be rendered useless if the end user is not able to fully utilize the functionality of the application. You have designed any program and given to your customer, but if he is not able to use it in a 100% way, if it is not understanding it properly, then what is the use of creating the such kind of best softwares, right? If he is not able to use, if the user is not able to use it properly. A well-documented application is also useful for other programmers because even in the absence of the author, they can understand it, right? A well-documented application is also useful for other programmers because even the events of author, they can understand it. As I told you, if I have written the program and if other part of the program is written by someone else, then what happens? He should, this program, whatever program I have written should be understandable to him also. So that is what the program should be well documented. Now next, let's come to the Python now. We have seen what is algorithm, what is this flow chart, no, and we have seen what are the characteristics of a good program, right? Now let's see what is Python. What is Python, right? How it is installed. So Python is a programming language, right? Like other programming languages, Python is also a kind of programming languages in which we design programs. There are certain set of rules which we will follow while writing a Python program. Now, how this Python software is installed? For this, in a Google, in a browser, write the address of of this software, right? Python. So www.python.org, that is the website of the Python organization. From there, first go on that, then there you will see one download tab. In that download tab, go to the Python, and after downloading it, you can install it on your system. As you can see, in the browser, write www.python.org, and after opening the website, you go to the download section, download tab, and there you will see Python. When you will click on this, you will see Python 3.8.5. This is the latest version which is executable in Windows. But you can see, go to the, you can download the other versions also, the earlier versions also, and you can work on, you can write the code on that also, right? So this is the standard one which is used in the Windows operating system. Python 3.8.5 is the latest one. So how, when we work on Python, you can see, when we work on Python, we have two modes to work on it, to interact with it. First one is the interactive mode, and second is the script mode, right? So let's see what is the interactive mode. To work in interactive mode, after installing Python, suppose you have downloaded and installed Python on your system, then from here you will open that. To write programs on Python, first you have to click on the start button, then go to the all programs, and after that go to the Python 3.8 or whatever versions you have installed. Go on that folder, and here I have, you can see to the picture. After going to Python folder, I will choose IDLE, Integrated Development Environment, the environment where you will write the codes, right? So we will click on that, and when you will click on that, such kind of interface will open. See, this is the Python shell, right? Python shell. Here, and here this three greater than symbol, you can see this is known as the Python prompt, right? Like that of command prompt. When you enter, you go to the DOS mode, we call it command prompt, right? Here three greater than symbols are there. This is known as the Python prompt. Now, let's suppose I am writing here some code. I want to print hello world. So for this, I have written a code print, print, and then open parenthesis. This bracket, a small bracket, is known as the open parenthesis. And then inside double quotes, I have written hello world, then closed this parenthesis. After writing this particular output code, I will press enter key. When I will press enter key, hello world will be displayed, right? Now, suppose in the same Python cell, suppose I will write 7 plus 8, right? And then I will press enter key, 15. So what you can see, when we will go to IDLE, Integrated Development Environment, here in this Python shell interface will open, and here I will write some codes. But can you observe, here we are writing just a single line, and after that when we are pressing, the output is displayed. Suppose I want 2-3 lines, then this is not possible in this, right? See, that's why interactive mode and script mode, two modes we have seen. This is interactive mode. Here we can write just a single line. You type one command at a time, right? In interactive, while working on interactive mode, you can type one command at a time. The Python executes the given command and gives you the output. As we have seen, 7 plus 8 is 15. It's just shown. Whatever I wanted to print, like that of hello world, it just printed. We are giving the single line command and it is showing the output. You type the command in front of command prompt. As I told you, these three greater than symbols are known as the Python prompt, right? Python command prompt. We cannot save the commands in the form of program files. Suppose we want to create any program in which set of codes are written, right? For suppose calculator is a kind of program in which 3 to 4 or 5 lines I want to write, right? I want to take input from the user as well. So this is not possible in this mode, right? Interactive mode, because here we just write single commands. The output is sandwiched between the command lines. Again and again, we are writing codes and output. Then we used to give commands, then output. So it is what? It is like a sandwiched. The output is sandwiched between different commands, different command lines. Okay. So what is the solution? Let's see the example also. As I had just shown you, if you type 7 plus 8 in front of the Python prompt, it will give you 15 as result, right? This is Python prompt, this three greater than symbols, and this 7 plus 8, whatever you have given is a command, and thus when you will press enter key, 15 will come. That is the result by the Python. Now the solution to this, we want to make the script, right? Set of codes I want to give, I want to save. So this is the script mode. Solution is the script mode. To save all the commands in the form of a program file. We are writing some particular program, right? So we need to write number of codes. So we will do this in this script mode. To see all the output lines together rather than sandwiched between successive commands. Set of commands we will write, right? And whenever we will execute it, we will see the output. So there will be no sandwich between successive commands. Now, how to create program on this script mode? So to create program file in script mode, in the same way you will open the Python, right? You will click on start button, you will go to the all programs, then you will choose Python as per your version, and then you will go to Python IDLE. Here, don't see this one. You have to click on IDLE. Okay. After this IDLE, after this going to IDLE, integrated development environment, the same thing will open. That is the what? Interactive mode. Here in interactive mode, you have to click on file tab and then file, new file option. As you can see, this will open, right? First interactive mode will open. In this interactive mode, here we can see file tab, right? Click on that file tab. Yeah, while we click on this file tab, this new file option will be there. Click on this new file option, and this kind of window will open. Then this is the place from where you can. This is the script mode. Here you will write the script, write the coding, and then we can save it as a program file. Okay. So suppose I will write here some programs. So to let's say write the program display hello world, the same which we had seen in case of interactive mode. Here we will write print hello world in the same way. Now I will save it, right? Like that of other files, like that of a MS Word file, we will save. From where we used to save in MS Word? File tab, right? In file tab, we will click on save as option, and we will save it somewhere. Give one file name, and the type of file will be Python file, and we will save it somewhere on our system, right? After saving it, how we will execute this file? After the program is created, to execute it, to run it, first open the file. How will open? First go in the same way. Open the IDL, integrated development environment of the Python, and then there click open. As you can see, file, go to the file tab and click open option, and then browse the file which you want to open, whatever Python file like that of hello world, right? That you have to open. Click on that and open it. And after opening this file, go to the run tab, and then there run module option you can see. Click on that. See, hello world is displaying, right? So this is the way you can save the program files. Now let's see some uh, uh, go into to write some more codes, to write some standard programs. We have to use variables. Variables means variables and data types. So let's see what are data types, right? Variables, I have already told you, to store some value in somewhere in the memory. What kind of value that is? That is the variable, right? The ability of that variable which is storing the values. But in Python programming, don't generally write variables. It automatically takes, right, the data types. Let me tell you what are variables and what are data types. In computer programming, a data type is an attribute of data which tells the compiler or the interpreter. What are compiler or interpreter? The program is executed by the software that is the compiler. Suppose you have written the addition program, so all these lines are one by one executed, right? So that is what, who is running that, who is executing, who is interpreting that. That is the compiler and interpreter software. So in computer programming, a data type is an attribute of data which tells the compiler or interpreter how the programmer intends to use the data, right? How the programmer is going to use that data. If it is a number, it will add it. It is a string, it will show, do some kind of that operation, right? More programming languages support basic data type of integer numbers, floating point numbers, characters, and booleans. These are the different kinds of data types, right? Whatever data you are using in programming, it can be an integer, it can be a floating point. Floating point means with decimal, 0.2, 0.03, like this. This is a floating point number. Characters, A, B, C, all these characters, whether you are using the characters in your programming. Booleans, true or false, right? That is the boolean of data type. All these kind of things we will use in our programming. So suppose in this interactive mode, I am writing x equal to 5. X equal to 5 I am writing. Now when I will write x and press enter, it will show me 5. Why? Because inside x we have stored 5. X equal to 5 means what? Within x we are storing 5. In mathematics, x equal to 5 means x equal to 5 means x is equal to 5, right? Means x is 5 itself in case of mathematics. But in programming, whenever we write x equal to 5, it means we are storing this 5 inside the x variable. X variable is a kind of variable which is integer type. How it is integer type? It will automatically storing 5 inside it. So it is an integer type, right? So when I am showing this, I am implementing this, executing it, I am writing x and pressing the enter, it is showing me 5. Understood? So this is a kind of, I am trying to tell you how variable is, what variable is. Now, let's see one program for the addition of two numbers so that we will better understand how the programs are created on Python, right? So program for addition of two numbers entered by the user. So see, this is the program for the addition of two numbers. A equal to int input enter first number, like this. So let's try to understand this program. Enter first number. If in any program we are trying to this program, suppose I will create this program and I will sell it to you. You are my customer, I will sell it to you. Now see this program, how I have written. Enter first number. When you will execute this program, it will ask you first number. How it will ask? Enter first number. Then you will give the number, right? Then you will press enter. Then it will again ask enter second number. Then you will again give the second number. Then you will press enter. It will add and give you the answer. And before writing the answer, it will write sum column. So as you can see, double quotes are written. Enter first number. It's written inside double quotes and then parenthesis. So enter first number is written inside double quotes. Double quotes means it will be printed as it is to the user, right, who will execute it. So enter first number will be printed as it is, and it will be taken as an input. It will input. Why it is written inside input? Because it will ask the user. It will be given, the numbers should be given at the runtime. When the program is executed, it will take input at that time. So that's why input command. Input, and then inside parentheses, inside double quotes, enter first number. And why we have written int? Otherwise, it will take considered as a string or characters. It will not take as an integer value. Here we want to do some kind of operation, right? We want to add this. Otherwise, we will simply want to display it. Then we don't need to convert it into integer. because here we are doing the operations, we are adding two numbers, we want to add a plus b. So a should be integer, then only it will be added. A plus b can be, addition is possible only on integers or some numbers, right? In strings very or the characters it is not possible. So by default it is not integer, that's why we are converting it into integer, right? So to convert it to integer we will write, so that a will convert it into integer form, integer variable we can say. So int we will write inside the whole syntax. Input enter first number will be written inside this input int and then parenthesis. So it will convert a and b as an integer. So sum is a variable which will hold a plus b. The value of a plus b will be stored inside sum variable. And then print is used to give the output. So print, then bracket double quote, sum colon will be printed as it is, and then sum the value of sum will be printed. Whatever the value is there, the addition will be stored inside sum, that will be displayed. So after execution, we will do the execution, go to run and run module, and then how it is asked, enter first number. Suppose I will give 23 and press enter. Then enter second number. I will give 45 and press enter. 68 will be displayed. See, enter first number. This was written inside double quotes, so it is printed as it is, and it has asked for the input. Whatever input I have given, then pressed enter, then it again asked enter second number. It was also written inside double quotes. Then again I have given one number and pressed enter key, then sum colon was written inside double quotes, right? So it is also displayed in the same way, and then sum was written. The value of sum is displayed, that is 68. Understood? Now let's see one more program to find largest of two numbers. See, two numbers here also the same way we have written a equal to float. In place of integer, this time we have used float means point decimal, with decimal values it will consider, right? 2.045 something like that. So enter first number, enter second number we have given using the runtime. During the runtime we will give two numbers, then it will compare if a equal to b equal to. In case of a equal to b means what? We are comparing a and b. This must be equal to. A equal to b means what? The value of b will be assigned. Equal to means assigning operator, right? And equal to means equal to operator. So here we are comparing a and b, value of a and b, whether these two are equals or not. So that's why we write the equal to two times, right? And single times means what? Assigning operator. So if a equal to b colon, what should be printed? Both are equal. Else largest equal to a, if a is greater than b, else b print is the largest value. In curly braces will write is the largest value, format largest. So this is just a way of programming, right? Here we are what? We are comparing two values. We want to find out the largest one between these two. Large number between these two numbers. If these two are, only three conditions are possible, right? These two numbers can be equal. These two or one is greater, one is smaller, and or the third is another number is greater and this one is first one is smaller. So first we will compare if these two are equal, then print both are equal. Else largest a, if a is greater than b, else b print this statement, right? That is the largest value. So when you will go further, in next classes when we will see in detail about this Python. In this class, in class 9, we will just see the basics. Here we are just to learn the basics, right? What is algorithm? What is flowchart? How programs are created? What are the simple syntax used in this Python programming? What is hello programs, right? So we will not go in deep in this, as per our standard. In later classes, when we will go in detail about the Python, then we will see all those things, right? So in this way, we will write the program for comparison of the two numbers to find out the largest one, right? So see, enter first number 43 we have written, enter second number 72 we have written, and then the answer is 72.0 is the largest value. Why 72.0? Because it is considering it as the float value. It has taken 43 as 43.0. Then we have given 72, it has taken it as 72.0. So that's why its answer is 72.0 is the largest value. We can even give the numbers as an input 43.46. 72.41. Like this also we can give, as it will consider it, right? Because we have given floating, right? While during the when we have written the commands, we have given changed it into floating or float numbers, right? So it can consider the decimal values to compare. Now, suppose I will give both the numbers as 37, 37. Then what it is printing? Both are equals. Okay. Now, next. That's it. So we understood the concept of Python. We have seen what are algorithms, what are flowcharts. We have seen what are the good characteristic of a good program. What all are the characteristic of a good programs. Then we have seen some basics of this Python programmings. Variables we understood, right? Data types, the data which we use in the program, the values we enter in the program. The types of that values, the types of that data are the data types, and the places in a memory where we store these values are the variables, right? So in this way we will design a program, right? So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.